Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we seek. Rainbow horizons calling to me. Living each moment, giving truth from the heart. No deceptions woven, no false starts. It goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze. Watching the sunset fade away with pink and blue ease. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain. Diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and the stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light. For the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compared to the peace we found in the tides we ride, and the love all around. No rainbow horizons after the rain. Diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons forever free. Your rainbow horizons calling me.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope that you're all doing. We're gonna play it again. Play it again, Sam. Hold on.
Woke up
It's such a
at
great
dawn with
song.
the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong.
I don't even want to stop it.
Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles.
All right, we'll do one more chorus just because my brain won't be in balance if I don't.
Dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace. Family ties God and country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials, we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me.
All right, folks, that's it. I hope you guys are doing well. That should be the end. The song that didn't want to fade. How's that? All right. I think it's done, though. I think it's been heard and it's satisfied now, right? Okay. I hope everybody is doing great on this fine October the 14th, 2025. I myself, if I were doing any better, I'm certain it would be a crime. All right. Justice Jane, good morning. Great to see you. Cinnamon Hot, good timing. I just finished my shower, my makeup, and I am dressed and ready to take on the world. There you go, Cinnamon Hot. My dad always said the early bird gets the worm. Good luck with those worms out there, Cinnamon. All right. Let's see. Sweet Melissa. Good to see you, True Crime with Sweet Melissa. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. Okay. Yes, I do have a lot of people ask me, where did this song come from? There's a lot of people that like it. I love it. I wrote the words to it. It is actually about my life here on the Texas Gulf Coast. And then I wrote the lyrics and then I used AI online to do the melody, the song itself. So I do play the guitar, I play the piano, I do all that stuff, but no, that was the voice and all that, that's AI generated. But that is one of the songs, just because there's two songs that I purchased the right to. This one, because it's my song, right? It's my life, it's where I live, and I wrote about the things that matter to me. And then the other one is the song about Suzanne Morphew. It's called One Lone Tree. And that one too was I own the rights to it. And there is a possibility that it will be recorded by someone that some of you may know their names. So there's still some decision making on that. So that's one of the reasons that I've quit playing that particular song. But I do love that. I do love it. But just the two, all the other ones that I've done and put up here, it's just goofy. It's just silly. I do the lyrics usually with my, when I'm playing my guitar. And then I use AI to do the music and everything. So that's that. Somebody else online does the same thing. Kramit is the same. She's doing all the writing and everything. And yeah, and I think Kramit has done a Spotify channel, which is awesome. More power to you. I love it. So yeah, I had somebody one day that fussed at me. They came on, they left a message and it said something like, I can't recall the exact words, but the comment that was left was something like, stop calling it your song. Stop calling it your song. It's not, you didn't write the music, something along those lines. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I used AI for the melody, but it's absolutely 100% my lyrics. 100%. I can play a guitar and sing it. And the law says it's mine. But I thought it was very, very interesting because the person was saying, that it doesn't have any worth because of the AI portion of the actual melody and music. And I thought to myself, how many people I know I do it, you get the like the adult coloring books that have the really beautiful drawings and such, and then you color it, right? Whether you use pencils or water paints or markers or gel pens or whatever you choose to put the color, to add the color in. And then for those pieces that you really like, you take them and go get them framed, right? And you use them to decorate, or you give them as gifts or whatever. Is that not art? So I know that the world of AI has made things uncomfortable when it comes to things like the creation of art. I acknowledge that. And me writing lyrics to a song and then using AI for the music, the instruments, that doesn't even compare to the value of an actual band, right? People, accomplished musicians that are sitting down and doing the music in real life. It doesn't even compare, which is one of the reasons why I talked to this person if they wanted the One Lone Tree song, that they could have all rights to it, record it, put it out there, it could be theirs. I don't even need to be a part of that. However, there is value in what we do on our downtime. And one of the things that I do, and I've always done, I mean, there is a song that I wrote when I was, I think maybe a junior in high school, called Mud, Sweat, and Mud, Sweat, and Beer. And it was a song about roughnecks that are out on the drilling rigs working, right? And the name of the song is Mud, Sweat, and Beer. I've done it for forever. I can remember when I was first learning to play the guitar when I was maybe probably like 11, 12 years old. I've always done it. Partly because I couldn't I couldn't play the real songs that I liked on the radio. So I just made up my own stuff that I did know how to do with the different chords and stuff. So yeah, so some people write poetry, and I suppose you could say that's kind of what I do, but it's not poetry. I'm not sitting down with a notebook and writing it. It's music in my head when I do it, right? So I've always done it. It's calming, it's relaxing, and I love AI music because now it's not just a simple acoustic guitar, right? Now you can actually make it a song. So that's, I still think it has value. And do I think it has the same value as, let's say, Rocky Mountain High, no, of course not. Doesn't even come close to that. But it's my hobby. And so don't come in here and throwing shade at my hobby, damn it, you asshole. Go get a hobby of your own is what I got to say. Okay, I'm done waxing poetic about what I do in my free time. Okay, so yeah, big changes in Kramaland, right? And I've got some things to say. I've got some thoughts, and it's hard. I feel I'm a little, well, no, I was terribly conflicted. Like, I was sincerely conflicted. I took time away from YouTube and the internet. And what is it? I got my shit together. That's the saying, correct? And we do live in an amazing time, DJ. Absolutely. I'm loving, loving, loving everything that can be accomplished with AI. It is unleashing so much creative potential for so many people. And I love that, right? I'm not an AI hater. I'm a little afraid of it, but I am grateful for the tools that is given to people to 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 kind of fully explore their personality and their talents, right? So I took some time away because I was horribly conflicted, and I don't mind laying out what my conflicts were. Um, I backed Brittany J for there was a specific reason, and I did in fact. Um, there was a leap of faith, right? And I knew there was a leap of faith. Like I knew that I was doing it when I did it. And I had reasons to believe that this person that it would be safe to trust this person's words. And I didn't trust so much that I let my guard down. As I've said before, there is one person off of YouTube that I'm talking about that I met on YouTube. One person that I communicate with. Well, there was two, but one person though that there is communication with, and never anybody else other than a business owner that I met on YouTube that I talked with for a while, doing some shirts and stuff. But in terms of like conversation about life, only one person. Okay. I've never felt like there needed to be that YouTube, social media should ever be a friend matching tool. I think that is very dangerous. Okay. I also put YouTube friends in the friend basket. I do look at you guys as my friends. Some of you I trust completely, like Cinnamon Hot Hot. Trust her completely. Other people I really, really like, and it's fun on this platform. Other people I'm highly skeptical of. And with Brittany, when I first started following her channel and listening to her, it was all true crime stuff. There was none of this trauma bullshit. I hate the Natasha Cooper content. I hate that. What played out between she and Mommy Ramblings, awful. Like, hate it. It's boring. It's just yucky, right? So I was pretty disappointed when it started with Brittany. And I had people, I like Granny's Watching a lot. And I've known Granny's Watching way, way, way before I ever knew that Brittany was even a person online. And I really like Granny's Watching. And I thought what she went through was BS. And I think Natasha Cooper is the great destroyer, right? I think she's a manipulator. I think she's a liar. And so I like Granny. Granny's Watching knows that. And of all the people I know on here, Granny's Watching is one of those people I've known probably the longest, or known of the longest. But I was unaware about Brittany J being that person that had created all the heartache for Granny's Watching. And so when Brittany started doing all this trauma stuff, then I learned that she was the person that was so awful with Granny's Watching. So I was like, damn, this is craziness. So there was a moment of a leap of faith for me, is what I'm getting at. I never turned my back on Granny. I never went against her. I did have a conversation with her to try to understand a little bit more, but it was not possible. And I backed away. And so there was a leap of faith, and I was blind by choice. I'm not saying I'm a victim, not by a long shot. In fact, I'm kicking myself in my ass as we speak. But I'm trying to give you the background that got me to this point, right? Some of it was sort of like hating, not hate. Some of this was being friends of my enemies, or no, friends of the haters of my enemies, right? It was like, which always leads you down the primrose path. It will always lead you to the road to ruin. And I could keep on calling out those little, sayings, but you get my point. It's a bad damn. It was a stupid, foolish, dumbass thing for me to do, to take that leap of faith. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. So nevertheless, I had some sympathy. I felt sorry. But I was also saying, do true crime, get away from the drama, do true crime, do true crime, do true crime. And I said, this is too much. This is not changing. This is going to keep going. This is exactly the BS that I dislike to epic proportions. And I moved away and quit going in there, and silently unmodded and stopped. And there was this point of contention about if Brittany attacked Cluminati's family, and Brittany said that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a big lie. Okay. But yet these people that I didn't know, they're saying, yes, you did. And so I explored that background and history, trying to get a handle on it, which is how I ended up coming to find out about Smiley's World. I knew for a fact that Smiley World was the first one to go public with the information. And there is a video that I put up that I was very clear about my disgust, and that Smiley owed them an apology, and that was disgusting. And I explained why it was disgusting. All right. And still there's this lie that's being generated that Brittany never said that. And then one day, I don't know how, that clip fell in my lap. And I listened to it probably 3 or 4 times. And I was like, you nasty, unprincipled, cold, cruel person. Because Brittany, you did say it. You hosted people on your panel that relished in saying it. You laughed. You were giddy, laughing. And it was really just a really good thing that you weren't my next door neighbor in that moment, because I was filled with fury. And the reason I was filled with fury is this. You had absolutely zero care or thought or concern, maybe even awareness. Maybe you didn't even have any awareness because you didn't want to stop to think about what you were saying. You took a little child, Brittany. Here's how I'm going to say this. A little child who was brutalized by a grown man, and you laughed and you used that for YouTube drama. Here's the problem, Brittany. That child is not a YouTube creator at all, in any way. They're not public at all. They are living the life of a private person. You took a child who was literally brutalized by an adult and you laughed. I don't know how much clearer to make that for you. Your zeal to hurt someone that was making fun of you, saying you were ugly and fat. You took real life destruction of a private person. You don't have a moral platform to stand on. I'm sorry, but you don't. You lost that way back. Way back. And I remember that day when I watched that clip or listened to it, listened over and over, and I just just such fury that any healthy, normal person who is a mother or a father or a brother or aunt or uncle or whatever, any normal person would feel one thing about that protected information that you spread was protected information. It's legally protected information, and you outed that child. I might have knocked you on your ass if I'd been standing in front of you when I found out. That's truth. So I unmodded her. I unsubscribed, and I took a little while to get my fury in order. You can tell I'm still very, very, very angry. And I am angry at myself for being so dumb. I'm angry at myself for just looking the other direction, just choosing to willfully be a dumbass. And when I did come out, I was very clear and said exactly why. And here is something I know as a human being, and this is something that came from my dad, who was one wise man. When you have someone who's willing to hurt a child, that is a person to alienate, to systematically cut out of your life in the biggest way imaginable. That is someone that if they're willing to harm and hurt a kid, they won't think twice about sticking a knife in your back. They won't think twice about lying about you. They won't think twice about sleeping with your husband. They won't think twice about stealing your money. They won't think twice about it. They will not. Do you know even dogs protect little kids? Did y'all know that? If there is a rando dog just laying out in his front yard living his best life, and there's a little kid playing across the street, and some person tries to steal this little kid, and this little kid starts crying and screaming, do you know that dog will go attack that adult in protection of that little kid? Do you know that they have found wolves, wild dogs, that have come across little toddlers, and they've kept them alive for a year, 2, 3 years in the wild? Do you know that? It is abnormal to willfully hurt a kid. It is not normal. It is, I can't even say that enough. So I knew that I heard it, and I went back over the days, and I kept listening. I was like, damn, man, shit. How was I so wrong? There's only one reason. I made that choice. I made that choice to just believe blindly, because by that time I had a friend, there were people that I chatted with in that side chat, and yeah, just it was dumb on my part. It's the stupidest, most foolish thing for an old lady to do. I knew better. I wouldn't have done that in my real life, not by a long shot. I was stupid. I was like a teenager making that choice. It's like a childish, choice. So there are two great, what are they called? Gray herons that are fighting it out on the dock. Wow, that's crazy. They've been looking and threatening at each other off one on my dock, one 2 docks down. They're now facing off like a duel on the dock. I think the big one's going to win. All right. So I don't say all this lightly this morning. I have a purpose for this. And the thumbnail of this video, or this, talk, or whatever you want to call it, the thumbnail is, abandon the lies, stop talking shit, set new goals, find real friends. So I'm going to start at the bottom. All right. I have a question to anyone out there that wants to hear this. Okay. You don't have to hear it, but it's a question if it's pertinent to you and your life. Since being befriended by the Rico mob crew, has your life benefited? Since you've made friends with Nick and Hong and Tony and Seth and I don't know who else is in that group, is your life better or worse? That's a really great place for you to start as you hopefully have a hard conversation with yourself. Since you welcomed this crew on board into your world, into your life, how have you benefited? And if you say, well, I don't know, there has been no benefit. The other side of that is, how have you been harmed? What have you lost in the process? And I suspect that would be a 5-video series for you to discuss how you've been harmed by the connections with these people that I sat on your panel and said, I don't trust Tony. I don't trust Tony. And I was watching everything he was saying, every movie he was making, and I wasn't feeling better. And I kept thinking, how can I be so wrong? Look at all these people that are, he's so great. He's so great. I couldn't get there. I told him to his face, well, virtually speaking, I just don't. I have questions. And even when I began to try to question the guy, the side chat was like, why are you asking that? That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. Yes, it did. So that's just a good start. Sit down with a notebook and a pen and make a list. Since making friends, since being befriended by this skulky group, in what ways have I benefited? In what ways has my life benefited? In what ways have they made my children's life better? Make that list. And then flip the page and make another list. What are the costs of being friends with this group? Am I being misled? Have I been lied to? Am I being made the scapegoat for their responsibilities? I don't know. You're the only one that has the answer to that. But from where I'm sitting, and you don't get to blame anything on them because we make decisions to move forward. And after you hopefully see some reality, then, you're going to have to quit lying. You're going to have to stop lying. At this point, there have been so many lies that have had a spotlight shined on them that there is simply it. You don't ever get out from underneath them. They're there forever. You are now putting yourself into a situation where you are calling a judge a liar. You're calling an entire courthouse liars. You're calling the clerk of court a liar. You're calling Cletus a liar. You're calling Clue a liar. You're saying that everybody lied. The only person that didn't lie is the person that couldn't get out of bed to go to court. And I don't have to sit here and talk about that because Cletus did a great video yesterday with court documents. You know how she said I didn't get any documents? Okay, she did. They showed all the documents with the dates. You went live and you told all those people in that side chat, those people that gave you $8,000. Do you know how much money $8,000 is? It takes, let me tell you how much money $8,000 is. It takes a surgeon a month to make that much money. Think about that. And you know what you guys were doing in the side chat? Y'all were throwing more money at her last night. Natalie. Why? Here's the reality, Natalie. Here's what really happened. These are the facts. This person lied about Cletus and Cluminati. Period. Lied. You don't believe me? Go to this video right here. Hold on, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Let me find it. There it is. Okay, this is the link to Cletus's channel. And he shows the court documents. He shows everything, okay? So mods, if y'all would just keep sharing that through this live so people know where to go to get it, okay? You guys can go over and y'all can see the facts that Cluminati and Cletus are putting out there for everyone to see, okay? Please take note. The court documents were filed on October the 2nd. It says clearly on the document that they had court October the 6th. Let me be clear. This is the documents that Brittany filed. So she goes and she says, I'm scared. I'm so scared. They're going to come hurt me. They're going to beat me up with their banjo. I'm frightened. I need a protective order. The kind of protective order, I might add, that women that are laid up in a hospital with broken bones and black eyes, those women get those kinds of protective orders from men that are beating the shit out of them, Brittany. You have muddled in things that make you look disgusting. What for? Why'd you do it? Petty YouTube bull. Now, I'm not a fool, all right? Let me be very clear. I don't think you did it just to win YouTube flame wars. I don't think that's why you did it. Not by a long shot. I think you did it because your YouTube coin is the money coming into your home and nothing else. And I think that you're watching every month, your YouTube coin is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think you panicked. I think you are holding nonsense. Not J is for Judge. Every Day with Jay, Granny's Watching, Clue, and Cletus. And if I'm missing someone, I apologize. I think you're looking at those creators and you're saying it's their fault. They're the ones that are making my YouTube coin get smaller and smaller and smaller, and I must stop them. I must destroy them. I must make them go away so that I can get back to my large YouTube coin that I was previously making. You won't. It's not coming back. There's a million reasons why it's not coming back. But I can promise you one thing. Clue and Cletus and Nonsense and Every Day with Jay and Granny's Watching, they are not the reason that your YouTube coin is getting smaller. Do you know that? You are the reason. You are the reason. And all you've got to do is go and look at your old videos and look at the side chat. Look at what the people that love you and care about you, look what they're saying to you in that chat. Can we talk about true crime? Let's talk about true crime. Pick a case. Let's discuss cases. Go back to true crime. Your support was never, ever the drama community. Never. And I'm not saying it's all drama community that support those people, but I'm saying that's what she believed. Or at least I think my opinion is that's what she was operating on. You grew your channel based on discussions of current crime stories in the news. That's how you built your case or your channel. So you just go right ahead. You think it's worked for you so far? You think attacking these people, you think it's worked for you? Fine. Just be a dumbass and keep doing what you're doing. That's on you. But this deal that played out in the courtroom and is very, very public because you made it public. You did. You even threatened me, lady. You and that voice in the dark slurring that creepy, don't worry, daddy's here. Jesus. Yuck. You made it public. You came after me. And again, you're so dumb, or he is, you don't even have any realization that calling out my job and saying that you're going to come and take my job and that I'm going to be sued and you're going to take my job, you don't even understand. You just opened yourself up again to a massive lawsuit, not a cease and desist, not a tiny little restraining order, a full-blown real life lawsuit with damages. Why? Why you want to be so dumb? Because you didn't like what I was saying. That's why. Stop threatening people. Why do you believe, or the male creature that is sitting beside you, why do you believe that threats to others is going to whip them into control? It doesn't. You know what it does? When you threaten people that are authentic and they're honest and they're decent, all you do is you get the fight you're looking for. That's all you do. You don't threaten someone and then watch them cower. Oh, I'm so afraid. I was threatened. You threatened my job. Stop. Quit. You want to continue to do YouTube content? Okay. Go back to where you came from. Stop threatening people. Stop threatening them with litigation. Stop threatening their jobs. Stop threatening their families. And for God's sake, make an apology for the bullshit you did, and you know what it was. The reality is absolutely, you give as good or worse than what you get. There is nothing that I have seen of Cletus and Clue has come anywhere near what you did when you took the assault of a little kid and made it YouTube drama. You are disgusting. Nothing those two people could say or do would be worse than that. You get the prize for the lowest blow. The majority of humanity would be disgusted if they actually thought about what you did. And I think those people that were throwing money at you last night as you sat there and cried and lied, I think if they could stop a minute and get away from your emotional manipulation, I think that they could make that connection and see the reality of what you did. What started this? And I don't know how many times everyone can do this. If you go back and you listen to the earliest videos where Clue is addressing this stuff, I don't even know how many times you can hear her saying, "Stop talking about me." That's that. Yeah, and that I love your name, Smoky Mountain Mermaid. I love your name. I love your name. It's very cute. I have a special place in my heart for the Smoky Mountains. I lived in Eastern Kentucky and worked in Western West Virginia. Had a literal log cabin up on a mountain. Loved it. And my whole house is decorated with mermaids because I now live on the Gulf Coast. So I love your name. Yeah, she cried and sobbed until Craig walked in the room and then stopped. And I wonder, it's my curiosity, does he know the truth? Does he know that she's going to owe damages from the RICO that she lost? That Nick and Hong and all that, they all lost. Tony, they lost. Do you know that, Craig? They lost. They lost the case. That's the facts. There will be damages awarded. And I have had the thought, maybe that's what this was all about. Maybe going after other people, they think they're going to make money, that they themselves will get damages, and then they'll use that to pay back to Granny and Barbecue Lady. It's very interesting, right? I hope that's not what they're trying to do. That would be incredibly foolish, in my opinion. Um, but maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. But honestly, the and wake and bake. I live in the Smokies, but my heart is at the beach. Yeah, I was there. I loved where I was working. I loved the log cabin. Um, we spent every weekend just driving up into the hills of the Smoky Mountains. But yeah, I just kept thinking I can't wait to get home. Right, meaning the South. So well, if you ever get to Galveston, let me know and we'll meet up for lunch. Hey, Queenie, thank you for seeing through her BS. Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed that I chose to. I knew I was being ignorant. Like I knew that I was going on a wing and a prayer kind of thing. I knew that I was choosing to believe she was someone that she is not, right? I knew that I was doing that. I enjoyed the true crime talk. I liked the people that were in the side chat. And somebody said something the other day about, oh, you were always up on her panel. No, I wasn't. No, I don't. I can tell you exactly when I was up on her panel. And it was when I got to be careful how I say this so I don't reveal a lot of information. It was a very specific point in time, and I was, let's say, house sitting. I was in a place that I didn't know anyone, and I was sitting in a big house alone that wasn't my house in a town that was not my town. And I would get a little weirded out. You know what I mean? I'd be like, what am I hearing? Is that a bear? Is there a bear going to break down the door? Like, I was scared. I was in the woods. And so I had several times where I was up on panel there. And then there was quite a long time where she would invite me to come up on panel. And I'd be like, I can't, I'm going to bed, or my husband's asleep, or whatever. And I avoided that. And then I let it just quietly go, right, without there being a lot of fanfare. But when I heard the clip, boy, man, I was just saw red. I was just, still am. I'm just disgusted. There's no excuse. I can't even say this enough. If you have ever been in a situation to be trying to help one of these kids in this process where this little kid has been thrown into this legal quagmire, right? You would never excuse the fact that she made that YouTube ammunition. You would to okay, I'm not going to lose my temper. And I'm so close to lose my temper. Wake and bake. I think that you're full of it, but I may be misreading the couple of little comments that I saw. So if I'm wrong about that, I apologize. And maybe you got blocked because I'm not seeing it. Wait, I saw through her. Okay, that's Wake and Bake. Pisses me off saying Clue and Cletus' name. Why? Why Wake and Bake? Okay, I'm not getting mad. Urgh. Wake and Bake. You are being silly to say that you're getting mad saying their name. Why? What did they do? They have been on the defensive. You're going to have to try to come to terms with that. They are on the defensive every step of the way. Every step of the way. Brittany asked for attention. Britney did the lowest, most awful thing in my book as someone who advocates for kids. There is nothing worse than the harm of a child. Nothing is worse than that. It doesn't even come close. She made a decision, a choice to bring people up on her panel to deliver these types of weaponized messages that were designed. It was designed to hurt Illuminati. That's it. Period. Wake and bake. It was designed to hurt a YouTube creator with absolutely no thought, none whatsoever, to the type of content she was putting out there into the world. Oh, if I took it wrong, Wake and Bake, I am absolutely apologetic. I am sorry. Because I kept thinking I'd see a comment and then I go, wait a minute, are they here like attacking? No, my apology, Wake and Bake. Not against me. No, I'm not even in this other than so I have a feeling of guilt. I don't even know if guilt's the right word. I hate that I just, I was foolish. I was blind and I stupidly believed the Moonlight and Magnolias bullshit. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Look at your thumbnail. I hear it now, right? Like all these people that come in, if it's a new person, she'll pick them out and then tell them how beautiful they are. Now, I'm not saying she told me that I was beautiful. No, it's not. I'm old. Okay, I'm old and tired. I am not talking about me. But that is one of her manipulative tools that she uses. She'll see something. Oh my God, your picture, your thumbnail is so beautiful. It's manipulation. That's all, plain and simple. Right? So there's a lot of that. It's a lot of manipulation. And I felt, my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, I felt that the live that she did yesterday, trying to maybe, soften the blow that comes with the truth, I thought maybe she was being manipulative then. For example, why was she, crying and crying like snotty, ugly face crying until Craig came into the room? And you can hear Craig, you could hear Craig say, "Oh, are you yelling at your chat? Like, is your nose still stuffed up?" She told Craig she's having sinus problems. She's literally sobbing about what happened at court, but he seemed to think she just had a cold. How weird was that? And he says, as he's, sitting drunkenly babbling in the background, not yesterday, but other nights, saying, you lost one lawsuit, you're going to lose another one. You've already lost one lawsuit, you're going to lose another one, talking about other people, right? Does he believe that Britney and Tony and Hong and Nick and Seth, that they won that RICO case? Is she lying to him as well? Because Craig, they did not win, buddy. In fact, I think she's 0 for 3, actually. So I don't know what she's saying to you, but legally, you might want to be careful. Good morning, Ben. Wait. Good morning. Been listening for a while. Can't get over the crying and fear for her life, then coming back a couple hours later and going after them again. There you go. Thank you, Carrie. You are the aggressor, in my opinion, and apparently in Carrie's opinion. Let me just do this. Everybody that's in the chat, if you feel like Brittany is the aggressor, or Brittany and Craig are the aggressors, put a 1. If you feel like Brittany and Craig are the victims, the defenders, put a 2. Let's see where we are. And Wake and Bake, I apologize. I misunderstood the comments that I saw. My apologies. Sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry that I, got irritated. Okay, pay attention, everybody. We got red fingers, number one. And Imperfectly Me has a cute little dog. It's cute. Context always matters. Yeah, it does. Hey, Crimson Tide. Brittany, this is not a single 2. Why? I know why. Because you're the aggressor. You're the aggressor, Brittany. Say it out loud. I'm the aggressor. You put Clue and Cletus on the defensive. They're defending their child. Wake and Bake. I may need a Wake and Bake, right? Sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you, Smoky Mermaid. Give it a try. I'm sorry I was wrong. I'm sorry that I aligned with bad people. Yeah, it's shocking, right? She Bonbon or C Bonbon. All right. So truth here, okay? You came out of the gates poking the proverbial bear. What did you think you were going to get? What did you think was going to come back at you when you go to harm someone's kid? I honestly believe, sincerely, I think there is one thing that could make me take the life of another human being. You want to know what that one thing is? The one thing that would probably, so yes, I wouldn't know till I was in that situation, right? I would kill to defend my kids. I would fight to the death to defend my kids. That is the absolute truth. You went after their child. And your bullshit about, I didn't say it. The hell you didn't. I heard the clip. Hey, listen. If you didn't say it, why don't you play the clip? Why don't you play the clip and show it? Because you can't. You can't. You laughed. You laughed at the destruction of a little kid, lady. And then you followed up with making fun of people's appearances. How was that okay? I don't know why in the world YouTube hasn't taken your channel for violation of terms of service. You cannot make fun of people. You can't make fun of their weight. You can't make fun of the fact that they have no teeth or they have ugly teeth. Do you know the teeth example is actually an exact example put out by YouTube when they talk about the terms of service? I don't know why they hadn't taken you down. How do you sit there and just live this completely delusional life that you're the perpetual victim? Yeah, every single time I've heard you say, my kids are in danger, you're calling my kids names. I'm sorry. You are falling on deaf ears, because the reality is you violated a legal sanction. You violate. It is hard to even talk about it, because you yourself don't want to violate that, right? You don't want to. The thing that she did, she took something that was hidden by the court system. The court system hid this thing, right? In protection of the people that were the victims, the people that were hurt by it. And this person just blew right through what the court said was legally protected information, and used her platform to not only announce it to the thousands of people that were in the chat that night, but to laugh about it. They laughed, y'all. They laughed. They laughed. You laughed. Excuse me if my heart is not bleeding because people are disgusted that your little kid stands there and says, Mom, I'm hungry. First thing in the morning, little kid's been in bed, wakes up, it's early morning, you're still on the damn internet from the night before, and your little kid is standing there, I would suspect, in the doorway in pajamas saying, Mom, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Can I get food? And you said, I'll get some cereal. You want some cereal? And the little kid apparently shakes his head yes. And 90 minutes later, you're still sitting there talking about Clu and Cletus. 90 minutes later, the little kid, I'm hungry, Mom. I'm hungry, Mom. I'm hungry, Mom. So spare me if people are talking about you not taking care of your children. I mean, it seemed like there's evidence of that. Most parents, when they say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, give me just a minute. Just a minute, I'll get your cereal. Just a minute. They literally mean like 3 minutes. Like, I'm on the toilet. Hold on, I'll be right there. That's what it means when you say just a minute, right? That's what it means. Not 90 minutes arguing about YouTube. It's the most incredible thing. And yet you, the woman who's so upset because somebody is worried that your kid didn't get breakfast, you blew right through court protections for a child. I don't know, eventually I keep thinking somebody's going to say something that's going to get through to this girl. Somebody's going to say something and the light bulb is going to go off. Click. I get it now. I understand now. The reason that people are trying to message and put this out there is so that you will stop the bullshit. Here, what bullshit? Here's some bullshit. She is the first shot over the bow, correct? She lights the first bomb, the first cannon over the ship of Clu and Cletus. Now they are spending thousands of dollars for real attorneys to defend themselves for something they never did. So she's stirring up the fights. She's stirring up the bull. She's doing these awful things. And then involves the courts, the legal system. You use the protections that battered women use to protect themselves. You use that for your YouTube bullshit that you can't win. Do you know why you can't win it? I'll tell you why you can't win it. Because you are the one that created the problem. You and your 8-inch pet. That's who created it. That's why you're not going to win this. You are the aggressor. They are on the defense, rightly so. Those of you that are in the side chat in her channel, why are you giving her money? Because you're becoming the aggressor too. Every dollar you give to her to bring suit against these other creators that are defending themselves, you're just jumping on that bandwagon. You're saying, me. I'm just like Brittany. Why? Why would you want to be affiliated with that on any level? The same people that, yeah, Raven, right? Anybody that has to announce to the world, they're covering up something in secret, right? Oh yeah. Hell yeah. You need some new friends, girl. Okay, but that was it. That is. I'm just going to name it. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie and perfectly me. She filed the paperwork on the 2nd. On that day, the day she filed the paperwork was the date October the 6th for the court hearing. There's no terror. She's not living in any terror. There's no terror. What, of LDS missionaries? I didn't even know if they were LDS. No. Okay, then why on the police scanner are they saying the lady said it was LDS? And why did you say they came at 8:30 when it was like 7 o'clock? You know what I was wondering? Okay. I'm trying to keep this focused on the simple, pure facts and not all the noise. It is very clear who the aggressor is and who the defender is. It's very easy to see. And those of you that gave $8,000 to this woman, she then went on her live last night and lied to you. And this video that I have up on my desktop, this is the video that will give you the facts that you need. Okay, so I'm not playing all of Cletus's video, but it is not on Cluminati's channel. Well, maybe they did put it on her channel, but he has his own channel now. So the mods are putting the link in the chat for you to go to. But he made this video, I think, a day or two before. Then after he replays this, then he offers the actual court documents. The court documents that your girl said she didn't get. Okay, well, that's really strange because her signature is on those documents. But just take a minute. I think Cletus needs to be a writer. Cletus needs to have a column in the local newspaper. Cletus, you need to write a book because you are a hell of a writer.
Paperwork and procedure. This isn't just about 2 dismissed petitions. This is about a choice Brittany made. She should have accepted the devil she knew instead of trying to fight the devil she didn't. Because now, instead of solving a problem, she's created a much bigger one. Now she hasn't just dragged Clue, the woman I would lay down my life to protect, into a courtroom over words. She's dragged me into that fight too. And the irony is I was the one man in this entire situation who had shown her more grace, patience, and understanding than she deserves.
That is the truth.
You see, people make the mistake of thinking that
he tried to talk to her politely. He was being polite. It is mind mindless that she attacked him. Mindless. Makes no sense.
Because someone chooses peace, they're incapable of war. They assume that because someone is composed, they're harmless. They convince themselves that restraint is weakness, but the truth is this. Sometimes the worst mistake you can make is failing to understand the dog you're about to kick before you rear back your leg.
Yep.
And if you swing at the wrong one, you shouldn't be surprised when it turns and bites back.
Correct. Okay, this guy needs to be a writer. Well, maybe he is, and I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're not already a writer, you should be, because you have a message, and your words, the way you deliver that message is poetic. So, yeah. And so I'm, again, the links are being put up in the live by the mods. They went through, Clue and Cletus went through every single document that Brittany told you guys she did not receive. Well, then how is it that her damn signature is on it? There comes a time, and there are more documents here. I want everybody to go listen. Okay.
College part was the part that fucked me up.
Sorry. You see at the top of this page, it says filed October 2nd, and the time is 3:28, Scotland County Clerk of Superior Court. And what did Clue and Cletus do? They blacked out Brittany's address. Did they have to? Nope. It's a public document. It's a legally filed document. She is not telling the truth. And as she's crying last night, repeating her lies, nonsensical things, you guys are still throwing more money. You don't think that $8,000 was not a tough lesson for you? You need a harder lesson? Does it need to be 20,000? Does it need to be 50,000? She is not defending herself. She is the aggressor. She is the one whose signature is on these pages. She's the aggressor. The defendants are Clue and Cletus, and Granny's watching, and there was one other person, and I don't know who it was. They are defending. They are the ones that received documents that said the courts are coming for you, and they are the ones that didn't want to go into court, and they are the ones that had to pick up the phone and call attorneys and spend literally thousands of dollars to defend themselves, just like Queen Bee. Queen Bee is in the defense. So when people are defending, I'm happy to give my money all day long. But I am not going to give money as the aggressor. Absolutely not. No way. This was started by you. You, through the first hateful comments, you were making fun of their looks. I don't even know. I don't even know if I could even come up with all the horrible things that were said. One thing that really I couldn't believe is you making fun of being like mountain, like Smoky Mountain people, Appalachia, right? You are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. It's incredible. You have no idea what you're talking about. To drive up into the hill country, whether it was Kentucky or over in West Virginia, you can spend all day just being there, just sitting there looking around, right? The rivers, the waterfalls, the caves. We used to love going and exploring the caves. It's incredible. It's an incredible place, and the people are amazing. They're amazing, wonderful, awesome people. And the thing about them is that they are survivors. The federal government has wreaked havoc on that part of our nation. The policies of the federal government destroyed these people's way of life, stripped from them the ability to make a living, and they are survivors. So the fact that you think that it's funny that you're going to call them Appalachian mountain people or hill people, well, you include me in that. Include me in that, because I think all the time in my head, I really think I want to buy some land up there around like Vanceburg or outside of Huntsville. Not Huntsville, Huntington. I would love to have some land up there and build a little like one-room log cabin, like a little vacation area, right? So include me there. Call me a damn mountain person. Shame on you. You want to reduce a person's value according to how they look? Include me. I got damn wrinkles coming and going all day long. Include me. Include me in being ugly because I'm constantly trying to lose a pound or two. Include me. But you can't talk about my hair. My daddy made sure I had good hair. Okay. But you can talk about me being ugly. And you make fun of people about whether they have teeth or not. You're so damn stupid. Do you know you're not going to have any damn teeth by the time that you're probably 60, 50, 60, 70 years old? Most people don't. It's natural. But again, you just show your stupidity. You're attacking people as you say these horrible things about these two people that are defending themselves. They are the defendants against your aggression, and you're making fun of them, their looks and whatnot. What you're saying would describe 90% of your side chat. Why are you doing that? You think that doesn't hurt people's feelings? You talk about whether people have teeth or they wear dentures or whatever they do. You think you don't have people in your side chat that are suddenly feeling very self-conscious themselves, feeling bad about themselves? Don't feel bad, you guys. Everybody loses their teeth. If you live long enough, it's going to happen, and that's fine, because we live in an era of modern dentistry. Don't let these people... Why would you let these people that are, they don't appear to be doing very well, okay? Why would you let them control you, hurt your feelings? Why would you do that? Don't do that. There are literally a million and more YouTube channels. You will find a new tribe. You will find a new group. You will. There are creators all over the place that won't be, I need your money. I'm really struggling. It's so hard. Yeah, you know what? We're all struggling. It is hard. There's a reason that I work 60 hours a week some weeks. Without a doubt, I work at least 45 hours a week. And some weeks it's as much as 60. My husband works his ass off. We're all working, trying so hard to survive and live through this terrible, economy that we're in. What makes you think you have the right to just give me your money? Give me your money. Do it. We need it. We need the money. We all need the money. You've got to quit, man. You've just got to stop the crying. You've got to stop attacking people and making fun of people. This is not a business plan. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, maybe it's a business plan, but it's not a successful one. There's no longevity in this. It's just hurting so many. It's just hurting. You're hurting people. You're hurting people with your words. You're hurting people. And then when they have enough and they start giving you back what you give, then you act like you're in shock. Like you can't believe that. Look, people are responding to what you're doing. And when I say what you're doing, I'm only talking about what I can see and hear, and not talking about your private life. I don't know anything about you. The only thing I know is what you put out, what is on your camera, what your words are. So if people are watching you night after night after night after night, your eyes rolling up in your head, falling asleep mid-sentence, jerking yourself awake and picking up your sentence right where you left off. If people are watching that and they're saying, wow, that is consistent with what somebody who's overdosing on opiates looks like, that is the behavior they demonstrate, why do you think that that's cause for a lawsuit? You know what they're doing now, right? They're taking the signatures that are on the actual legal documents that you signed, and they're taking that and the document that you put up that showed that that was your drug test with your signature. They're taking it to a handwriting expert to prove that drug test results that you put out, that you printed that document from just a PDF online and filled it out and said, here's the results of my drug test. Do you know they're doing that? The gig is up. The gig is up. It's finished. The people you have aligned with, the people that got you into that RICO, the people that, it's really hard to see, but you got to say it, right? How many of you guys have seen Seth and others in her chat? How long has it been? Right? They kind of just stopped showing up, right? And yet, when it's time now for her to go to court against Clue and Cletus, who is suddenly in her side chat gassing her up? Who? I'm just going to sit here and be quiet. Oh, thank you, Ostrich. That hadn't been down in the sand. You've been watching the truth, what's going on, right? Yeah, exactly, Hurricane Holly. They absolutely showed the strength as a people and a community, who they really are, right? And this heifer is making fun of them. I'm sorry. You want to know something? You can call and say, I have an emergency hearing at 2:00 this afternoon. I need help. And they will get an attorney to you. Did you know that? She's lying to you. It's more lies. She knew on October the 2nd that there was an emergency ex parte hearing on October the 6th. No attorney was there, and BJ was not there. And Clue and Cletus have the actual court documents that show the facts. She also knew that there was another hearing on October the 13th. Now listen to this. She says, I was in the courthouse at 9:28. She does not say I was in the courtroom. She said she was in the courthouse going through security at 9:28. And security said, you've got to take that back to your car. You can't bring that phone in. The problem is the hearing started at 9:30. I don't know why she's telling people it started at 10. It says on the paperwork 9:30. So she's not even gone through security at 9:28. I'm going to tell you something. If I had a court hearing starting at 9:30, my butt would have been in the courthouse at probably 8:30. I probably would have stopped and got me some breakfast and been out in the parking lot at 8 o'clock, eating my breakfast, listening to the radio or maybe YouTube. And then about 8:30, I would have wandered into the courthouse, nice and relaxed, went through security, got to the courtroom, found my best place I wanted to sit. That's the way an adult does it. Why are you burning it up trying to get through security at 9:28 if your hearing starts at 9:30? Huh? Why? Let's see. If you have not had a job, you don't get showing up early to be on time. I mean, maybe, right? I'm willing to accept that. Sure. If you live a life where you don't have to get up at a certain time, you don't have responsibilities towards other people, maybe you just disregard time. You don't know how, maybe you don't know how to set your alarm. Maybe you're medically incapacitated at 8:30 a.m. I don't know. Maybe you're not getting to your hearings because biologically your brain is not checked in. Yeah, and Carrie is 100% right about this. If you're scared for your life, wouldn't you get to court like super duper early so that you can get into the courthouse where you're safe from people that want to hurt you? Or do you wait until 9:28 standing out there waiting to run into Clue and Cletus so that you can scream and yell, wolf? So there's a lot of explanations for why she wasn't there, and that's none of my business. The thing I am concerned with is the way that she talked to her chat. When she finally came in to tell her chat, that it was all just a big mistake. She says, our town is so messed up. We have such a messed up town. She said that. She blamed yesterday on her town was somehow deficient. Watch. I'm telling you, those people that you're giving your hard-earned money, you might want to really go listen to Clue and Cletus's video they did. They have receipts they're showing. Listen closely what she's saying here. It's all a lie. Listen to this.
I didn't get any papers, nothing. I was told to show up today.
Okay, so I'm the victim. I'm this passive victim. I'm just being ordered around and I don't know why and I don't know what I'm doing. I need protection. Someone defend me. I'm the victim. Brittany, I just showed the documents that you signed that say when your court dates are. So stop lying to these people that gave you $8,000 for an attorney. Stop.
Yeah, and I'm not. There's not. They knew that, Amy. They knew that. So, and this is just. I'm not doing this for anybody else, but for the subscribers that support my channel. This is not for any of the hate watchers.
Okay, so now it's our fault. Everybody got that? This is all your fault. You YouTube consumers that sit passively in your easy chair, having your morning coffee, listening to YouTube chat, or you're driving around the big city and it's playing in your car radio. The passive consumer, you are the problem. You did this. No, you didn't. I'm being facetious. Brittany, you did this. You had to file the papers. You're the aggressor.
know this is feeding the trolls. I'm very aware of that. Eat it up. This is all you're going to get because I won't give you any more after this. So,
now I'm curious and intrigued by that statement. I won't give you any more after this, because she ends this and 2 hours later she comes back and she's giggling and happy and throwing crap at Cletus and Cluminati again. So what does that mean? Eat it up. This is all you're going to get. What does that mean? Your shame? Your the sadness that the lies have caught up to you? Like, what does that mean? You eat it up, you're not going to get any more, because you did give it. 2 hours later, you were back. Same thing, throwing shade at the people who are defending themselves.
I knew that. And hold on. No, just Arian. Completely different. Completely different. I almost wish it was the same one.
What? Rico, the one you lost? The one you already lost that you're lying to Craig about?
The only thing that I really care about at this point, at least in regards to YouTube, is for y'all to know the truth, because there's people saying that I didn't show up on the 6th, that I had a date and I just kind of laid out, and that today that I was 30 minutes late. That was not true at all. That was not true at all. I was not 30 minutes late. I was inside the courthouse. I was inside the courthouse at 9:28.
The court, your time was 9:30. You weren't in the courtroom. You weren't even through security, according to your story, because they told you to take your phone out. If it was a burner phone, why didn't you throw it in the trash can? That's what a burner phone is. It's a phone that can't be connected to you. It's a phone it's a phone number, a phone connection that you can use for illicit business that you put a fake name on. That's a burner phone. Like when a man or a woman is cheating on their spouse, they'll buy a different, pay cash for a phone and put a BS name down. And that way, if their boyfriend or their girlfriend is sending them messages on their burner phone, the husband or wife can't find it. It's not connected to their phone bill. It's not connected to their name. It's a rando number, right? That's a burner phone. So you said you had a burner phone with you. Okay, throw it in the damn trash. But I couldn't. It had all my evidence on it. Well, where'd your evidence come from? The internet? The internet's forever.
And on 28, I was in the courthouse.
Not in the courtroom.
I was told that I could take a flash drive or a burner phone in, and they do allow that. But what happened was the lady that
Well, what happened was, see, let me tell. That's what Barry Morphew said, right? Here, come over here. Let me tell you what happened. Well, what happened was bullshit. If they said you could take in a thumb drive or a burner phone, they wouldn't have turned you around. Period. So now you've pointed the finger and blamed now courthouse staff, essentially security guards, police officers that are saying, no, you could use a phone to launch a bomb. You got to take that out of here. We don't let people bring in their private phones. So your lies are just so confusing.
I went through the metal detectors.
In fact, I don't believe they told you to bring a burner phone, because it says on the courthouse that the only people allowed to have their phones in the courtroom are attorneys and DA officials. So who is this genius that told you to bring in your, quotation marks, burner phone? Curious choice of words when we're finding out that Sebastian Rogers made a phone call to a burner phone. And see, when law enforcement calls it a burner phone, law enforcement is telling you that is a phone that is not connected legitimately to a verifiable person for nefarious purposes.
She told me to go take my phone back out to the car, and that I could go get the phone when I came back in. Yeah, and then I just feel like too many directions.
Too many directions? What does that mean? Is that another way of saying too many stories? You trying to keep information from Craig? Trying to change stories up online? Like what? Too many directions. What does that mean, really? That's very confusing to me.
No, not yelling. Hold on, not on the live.
So he's like, oh, who are you yelling at? Craig? Yesterday was an unmitigated disaster, and you don't seem to have any idea of that. That's very strange, considering you have been on lives threatening people. You're going to lose. You're going to lose another lawsuit. I'm going to take everything you got. You're going to lose your job. I'm coming for your job. That was you. Those were your words. And I think you don't understand. Brittany hasn't won anything. Tony, Hong, they didn't win the case. Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady won. And there will be another hearing for damages, Craig. That means money from you. And I wondered to myself, I thought the $8,000, was that, is she trying to like squirrel money away for damages? Knowing that she's going to have to pay something to Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady, is she trying to get money together to have some cash? I don't know. This is the strangest thing. Why anyone would back themselves into this kind of a corner and just not be able to stop, right? Because that's what this is about at this point. Just stop lying, stop explaining, stop trying to win. It's over. That now it's kind of like after the Civil War, the South was in ruin. And there were a group of people that were very proud, and they tried to pretend like it was business as usual, and they lost everything. And then there were other people that were like, okay, we lost the war. Our way of life is over. We will now have to work tooth and nail to get enough money to feed our kids. We no longer live in a great, big, beautiful antebellum home. We're now paupers. And the name of the game was survival, right? Not rewriting history. Oh, we're the winners. You don't rewrite history. At this point now, it's just survival. It's just, this is what we got now. We took a big chance, 2 big chances, actually. Now we got to fix things. Now we got to just get it together and start out in a new direction.
Wait a minute, let me get rid of that. Mods, get rid of that, please, if you haven't already. I'm going to have to, I hate this thing. I'm going to have to get another computer if I can't figure.
You need another computer? Is this the new grift? Oh, God.
This out. There's no way.
I was going to say we got to go get this.
Just give me a minute, y'all. Please hold on. I'm sorry.
And I can say another thing, okay? As you're busy blaming dozens of people for the things that you're doing, you're blaming dozens of people. That part of why people are not watching anymore is because of the constant hold on. You may do a 3-hour live, but you're only talking about 50 or 60 minutes of that. The rest of the time is people just going, where is she? Like, what's going on here? It's nobody's fault but yours. And I'm not, this perfect YouTube creator, I wouldn't even really define myself as a YouTube creator. But at least turn a song on. Like, provide or play a video or something when you need to go take care of something unexpected. Like cereal for your child.
Which was my evidence, which had my evidence on it. And she said that asked me if I had an attorney. I did. I told her yes, that because it was such a short notice, that if they were doing a continuance, that my attorney would be taking over. And then
it was not a short notice. It was weeks in the making. It was no short notice. The facts are, go to the link for Cluminati and Cletus's channel. They show the court documents, all of them. The day it was filed on the 2nd, the 6th, she did not even show up. It's not short notice. Brittany, stop.
And she said that for me that I needed to contact my attorney, that she couldn't advise me. And then that man was just like, I guess, I don't know if he's their attorney. I'm assuming he is. I didn't get his name. He just kept like cutting her off, like cutting the judge off. And he was like, it's dismissed. There's nothing you can do. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like, why? It was just weird. But anyway.
I'll tell you why he's frustrated. Because people do not like to be manipulated. That's why. And his job was, again, to be a defender. That was that attorney's job. He's the defender. The defender. You were the aggressor. You were the enemy to this man. You understand that? Because he was there as Cletus and Cluminati. That was his job, was to be Cletus and Cluminati, right? He's the defender. You attacked his people that he was representing. That's why he's not being nice to you. Why are you sitting there in your chat going, I was just like, what the hell? You are attacking their family. Yes, people don't like you wasting their time. And that is another thing that I don't think she's considered. She's lying about knowing about the court date. Please go over to Cletus's channel, watch the whole video. They did a great job. Great. And he needs to be a writer. He does. But there will be a transcript, Brittany. There will be a court transcript. You are a self-defined, self-described true crime creator. That's how you define yourself. Although I don't think so. My opinion is that you have jumped right back into drama. You have gone with both feet, full glee drama. You are back in your Natasha Cooper days. That's the truth. I sat many nights watching your side chat, begging you to talk about a case, to talk about the news, to talk about true crime, begging you. And you told those people that they could leave, that you were talking about what you wanted to talk about. You did. And I also know that people told you in private to stop the drama. And you can't control yourself. So this man was not being sweet because you're the enemy. You put yourself in the role of enemy. That's why he wasn't nice to you. He didn't need to be nice to you. You said that Cletus was a man who was after you. He was going to hurt you and your children physically, that he was coming for you physically. That's what your restraining order said, that they wanted physical harm on you. You lied about him. You could have ruined his entire life, his career, everything. You made fun of them. I'm not even gonna re-victimize by talking about the crap, but the truth of the matter is you don't have a leg to stand on here, girl. You and that man that you live with, you guys just threaten everyone, including me. And I couldn't believe those people were listening to you saying all of this stuff that is so easily verified that you are absolutely lying. They're still throwing money at you. It is it's a crime at this point.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if there's anybody saying that there was evidence shown,
nobody said anything about evidence being shown. They said you weren't there, and you weren't. Neither time. You used a law, a rule, a document that is designed to protect women and children from getting the shit beat out of them by a real stalker, someone that's sitting outside of their house at night, following them through the streets. You use something that is designed to put safety in between an innocent person and disaster. You used it for YouTube fodder. And then you want to sit back and be, why is everybody talking about it on YouTube? Because this is your weapon of choice. I am allowed to speak out against you because you and the man you live with attacked me and threatened my job and threatened my livelihood. You threatened to have me fired. You invited Cluminati into the discussion when you went after her baby. What about Queen Bee and the bullshit you put them through, and Bullhorn Betty? You guys did this, and it's all coming from one colonel. It is the Dog the Bounty Hunter gang. It's Tony, Seth, Nick Hung. I don't even know if you can include Dog the Bounty Hunter. He doesn't really seem to, be all there anymore. Bunch of people using his damn name for clout. It's about all it is, right? All of these people that have been attacked and slandered and threatened, and now legal action brought against two people that were doing exactly what anybody else would have done, and that is to protect their children. It's all coming from one place. You and your little friends.
That it was dismissed because they found no wrong, like nothing was even shown to a judge. Nothing. I didn't get to show anything.
You weren't there. You weren't there on the 6th. You weren't there on the 13th. Period. You don't have a leg to stand on. If you were in fear of your life, nothing could have kept you from that courthouse on the 6th. And why in the hell wasn't Daddy with you? Daddy was here. Daddy was here through the whole thing. Where the hell is Daddy? Why didn't Daddy take your phone to the car so that you could take your 2 minutes and get into the courtroom? Stop. The gig is up. You have hurt so many people. So many people.
The attorney, he yelled at me. He spoke over the judge when the judge was trying to talk to me. He spoke over the judge multiple times. It was crazy.
No, it wasn't crazy. It was normal. It was natural. It's what people do when they've been threatened. It's normal. It's natural. He was doing his job. You know what an attorney does? An attorney takes your money and says, okay, stop talking. I now speak for you. Don't say a word. My attorney said to me that if I talked about this, that the representation would end. Is that what happened to you? Maybe your attorney wasn't quite so clear with you about no more talking, let him do the legal work, and you couldn't help yourself. And he said, our contract has now been voided because you didn't listen to my instruction. I said long ago, the reason you hire an attorney, there's two reasons. The reason that you hire an attorney is one, and that is expert knowledge. They know the law. The second thing is to relieve you of anxious distress. Once you hire that attorney, you can walk away and breathe fresh air and say, I'm protected. I've hired someone who knows the law. They are going to speak on my behalf. And all I got to do is go fishing, go out in the boat, go skiing, go have me a nice meal at the Red Lobster. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to talk. I don't have to do a damn thing because I hired an attorney. Not you. Nope. You take $8,000 from good, decent people who believe your BS, and you still attack people. You still say, I'm going to take your job. I'm going to take your money. I'm going to tell people about the most horrible thing that's ever happened to your family, and you can't say a word about it. Bullshit. People can have opinions about the way you treat them. People can have those opinions. The United States Constitution says that we can. And you want to know what the clue is? Here's the trick. The trick is this. I'm on my channel. This is the same as being in my house. I can talk and say and give my opinions on whatever I want to give my opinions on. And you don't have to listen. You have the right to stay in your house. You don't have to come invade my house and listen to my opinions on you. If you do that, you do it willingly. You're not being tagged. Your name is not in it, you didn't, like, I have this weirdo that always like ats me at certain videos that they do at blah, blah, blah. If I do an at allegedly with Brittany J, then I'm inviting you into the conversation and I may be culpable at that point. But you're not getting invited. You're not getting invited. If you come in over here and you start listening, you are eavesdropping as far as I'm concerned. The people I'm talking to are the subscribers of mine, the people that are my friends, the people that I consider family. If you're eavesdropping and you don't like that we're talking about you, that is on you. You can get the hell off my property and stop listening to me, stop eavesdropping, and then you're not harmed anymore, right? That's what you don't understand. You think that because somebody says something you don't like, that you could drag them into a court of law and steal thousands of dollars out of their pocket by making them hire attorneys. You don't get to do that in the United States of America. If you bring a lawsuit against someone, if you file documents that require a response against someone, they have a right to defend themselves. And if they are found not culpable, well, guess who's going to pay for that? You give worse than what you get. You have said horrible things about people and to people, and you threaten people all the damn time. You just finally ran across a couple of people that were willing to come up against you, that were willing to take time out of their day to go to a courtroom. But sincerely, if every single person that has had their livelihood threatened by this woman, if everybody filed a lawsuit about the slanderous threats that were made against a job, specifically coming for your job, coming for your money, coming for your income, they would be in severe trouble. Because every single court hearing is more attorney money. At this point, your ass has written more checks than you would ever be able to cover. In a lifetime of YouTube coin, you could never pay for the attorneys that would be required for people defending themselves against your slanderous words. I can give an opinion. I can say, I think Brittany's a liar. Here's why I believe she lied. I can say that all day long. What I can't say is, I'm coming to steal from you. But take your job or hurt you. I can't do that. It's incredible. It's really incredible.
I have no idea. Maybe he had other cases, but I don't know.
He took your money. You knew for 2 weeks. And to be fair, maybe not 2 weeks. Maybe you didn't know until the 6th about the hearing on the 13th. But there is one thing for a certainty. Clue and Cletus knew. How you explain that? How did they know that there was a hearing and you not know exactly? How is that? Because you didn't pay your attorney? Is that why? Maybe you paid the attorney for just the cease and desist, but you didn't pay a retainer that would then get him into court. Is that why? again, as far as I can tell, my opinion is you are in so deep that if people started trying to legally set things right, you would be snowed under for the next 5-10 years of court hearings.
I have no clue, but he was there though. He was there from the time I walked in. And my attorney, and that's another thing, people keep saying, where's the money? My attorney has been paid every dime that I've taken up. And my attorney, I do have an attorney. My attorney does represent me. This was a short notice. And
then how did Clue and Cletus know? Short notice? It's been 2 weeks since you filed the silly paperwork. It's not short notice.
He was, you know, going to handle it if it was continued. But that's all I can say. Honestly, I probably shouldn't even said as much as I did.
I agree. You should not have said what you did. I agree. It is time to stop, in my opinion. Enough's enough. Look, I can appreciate the need to try to convince people of whatever one thinks needs to be convincing of. But you got to ask yourself, why? Like, how many of you have experienced, let's say, someone accused you of lying, but you know you didn't lie? Or they accused you of doing something that you know, like for a fact, you did not do, right? How many have experienced that? That's exactly right. Exactly. Or Sarah, the attorney's job is to speak with the court, right? And if you hire somebody and you give them $8,000 and then they do not represent you, then they could lose their law license. Well, in Truth and Karma, so Truth and Karma said the court date should have been listed on the paperwork, so either she didn't read or there was a clerical error. You see the Cletus video that the mods keep putting up? If you'll click that link and go listen to Cletus and Cluminati's video, they show the documents. The documents that Brittany didn't get. That's what she claimed. I don't believe that. She doesn't. Why wouldn't she get it? Her signature's on that page. Her signature is all over those papers. Right. There, yes, Nina, thank you. You use the protection that is for people that are being assaulted, right? Like they're physically in danger of life and limb, okay? And they get these emergency ex parte hearings to give them time to hide, to get a different apartment. I knew somebody, I got to be careful how I say this. Hold on. So there was an abusive marriage, horribly abusive, physical assault. And this person had, before they left their marriage, they had rented an apartment, furniture in the apartment. They had gotten the apartment all set up and livable before they ever left the home of this. The spouse had no idea what was happening, right? None. So the apartment had been there for a few months, and there was an event. He Well, he had a weird accusation. Let's say he owned a motorcycle, and I'm making up, I'm not giving the true story. I'm making up an example that's similar. There was a motorcycle, there was a scratch on the motorcycle, and the wife got beat up for not protecting his motorcycle when he was at work, right? So this event happened that was similar to what I described. And so knowing that it was done now because she was hurt badly. So she immediately then left with the kids. No clothing, no phone. You don't take anything with you when you do this, right? You don't take a phone because they can potentially find evidence of the phone connecting to the internet, things like that. So you leave with nothing. You don't even want to take your clothes because the clothes are recognizable to the person who is assaulting you. So you've got to have new clothes at the apartment, different hair. So that there's no overlap between the old life and the new life and the contacts and things like that. This person didn't even go back to their job. That was it. It was done. It was time. And they were under true threat of death, right? This guy was so unhinged that he assaulted the attorney outside of the courthouse. That's how unhinged. She ended up being taken to a completely different state when all of the divorce paperwork, the restraining order, when all of that was delivered. Someone took this woman and her kids to a different state where they stayed there like 3 weeks in a hotel room rented under the other person's name, waiting for the guy to burn out his anger, right? Giving it time for him to be pissed and looking for her and, threatening the parents. He went over to the in-laws' house. He got arrested because he broke into the in-laws' house. It's a disaster. But the point of the story is, this is the law that you used, Brittany, against Cletus. A law that's designed so that if you get that restraining order and then you look outside and the person is like in front of your house in their car, you can call the cops and you can say, I have a restraining order. He's right outside my door. And the cops don't ask another question. They say, I'm on my way. That restraining order cuts through all the red tape of safety. It allows the police to act first and ask questions later. You use that for nothing. Nothing. The only harm I see, okay, I'm not going to say that. People living 1 or 2 states away are not your threat. You're living from threat of a person, but it is not Cletus. You are playing terrible games. For what? YouTube coin? You want to know something? It's going to be a hell of a lot easier to go get a job than what you've gotten yourself into now. And we're only talking about the people you were the aggressor against. How about all those people that you threatened, that out of the goodness of their heart, they are not coming for you? How about those people? People where you threaten their jobs and they've made a decision not to come for you yet. How about those people? Don't threaten people's jobs. Don't do that. It's not nice. It makes people mad.
But people saying that I didn't show up, or that it was dismissed and because there was found no wrongdoing, or that we have freedom of speech. Like, nothing like that. Nothing was even, it was a mere technicality because I was made to go out to my car. And in my luck of me having to go out to my car, I wasn't on roll call. That's it. I didn't say anything about the judge being in.
A technicality. As not a technicality. You did not show up on the 6th. That showed you were not in danger. No technicality. You were not there. Period. No technicality. So now the judge is in the wrong. These are her words that Madison put up on the screen. The judge being in the wrong. No, the judge was not in the wrong at all. And the attorneys were not in the wrong for being stern with you. And Clue and Cletus were not in the wrong defending themselves and their child. No, nobody else is in the wrong. You're in the wrong. What you're doing is wrong. The evidence of that is in the side chat of your channel. All the people that have unsubscribed, all the future people that are unsubscribing. The judge did nothing wrong. She blames the clerk of courts as well. Well, the clerk of court told me that Cletus called and he verified. No, the clerk of court did not have that conversation with you. It would be illegal for the clerk of court to have that conversation with you. The security guard didn't make a mistake by making you go put the phone up. It's their policy. It's on their website. Brittany, these people are not lying on you. This video, I didn't show, I jumped through it, different parts. I didn't play the whole thing. This is Madison. Please go subscribe to Madison. You should listen to this whole live. And here is the link for Madison's channel. And great job, Madison. I loved the very dramatic music in the background. I really liked the neon overlay. That was very cool. Yeah. So please go and subscribe and watch the video from start to finish. And give her a thumbs up. She did a great job, in my opinion. The big one is, after you listen, go and see, or before you listen to Madison, go and watch Cletus's video. Please take note of the documents and then compare it to Brittany speaking. I can promise you one thing. Okay, I will promise you this from my whole heart and soul. Madison did not change Brittany's words. This is Brittany's point of view. These are the messages that she is giving to her side chat as she is grifting for a new computer. It's there. She is blaming everyone. She says the most awful things about people. And then if you have an opinion about what she said publicly on YouTube, she threatens your job. She threatens your livelihood. She threatens to take your reputation. She could have used an ex parte restraining order if she had won to put Cletus in jail. And for what? Because he's protecting his wife and daughter. Because she violated a legal protection of a child that has had a crime committed against them. She violated that and turned that child's legal felony acted against her as a little kid. She turned that into YouTube ammunition against Illuminati. I don't believe any decent human being could ever accept that if they understood the truth of what she did. This is reality. This is not YouTube games. It's not misstating the judge. It's not the judge's fault. It's not because Brittany lives in a crappy town. It's not the clerk of courts breaking the law. It's not crappy attorneys. It's not Clue and Cletus. None. It is Brittany. Brittany has hurt these people. And there's many more that have been hurt that have not taken steps to hire an attorney. And I will end this live the way that I started this live, asking a question. Since you welcomed the cult of the dog into your life, have things been good? Has your friendship with Tony and Seth and Hong and Nick, has that helped you in any way? What are the benefits that have come to you? Because all I can see is you being manipulated. I see them go missing for months and months in your side chat. And then right before you got to go to court, Seth shows up in your side chat gassing you up. You're not suspicious of that? Because I didn't see him in your side chat yesterday. I didn't see him there showing support yesterday. Why? I don't have the answer to that. I don't know why. I'm asking you. Stop threatening people. Stop. You need to let this go. You need to stop any assault, legal against other people, because they're talking about you. You want to know when you have a leg to stand on legally? When you quit threatening other people. You threatened me. When you threaten me, I get to have an opinion on you. You threaten Illuminati's family. She gets to have an opinion on you from now to the end of time, as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely incredible. You're all in supporting Bullhorn Betty, aren't you? Oh yeah, I'm gonna defend her right. You're just too damn dumb to recognize that's exactly what this thing is going on between you and the rest of the YouTube world. You're trying to take away the same rights that you said Betty is entitled to. Make up your mind. Or why don't you stop letting other people think for you? And why don't you start listening to a real attorney? Nothing has happened that anyone should be dragged into a courtroom for. Nothing. And for damn sure, you should be screaming from the rooftops that Cletus is not and has never been a danger to you. You got to stop this. You blame the judge. You blame the clerk of courts. You blamed attorneys in good standing. What is wrong with you? People are smart. And there's people that like you. And there's people that cared about you to the tune of $8,000, which my mind just cannot comprehend. And yet they did. You're going to lose everybody. This is going to be the great falling away, because the transcripts are coming. The court transcripts are coming. You have now gone live, blamed anyone that was in that courthouse And the paperwork is there. It has your name on it. Your signature, it looks almost identical to the drug testing results. Man, this is so tough. Okay. All right. Please, I'm begging you, please go over and listen to Cletus and Cluminati. I think the mods, thank y'all. Y'all are awesome. You keep putting the links up. I really appreciate that. Please, please, please. Yeah, Diamond Paw, 100%. Please go and see. There's evidence. Cletus and Cluminati, who are the defenders, also, they did not ask for this, right? They did not ask for this. They are defending. They've got the evidence. They've got truth. It's there. Please go watch it. Don't hang on with white knuckles. No, no, no. I have to believe what I believe. Just take a deep breath, relax, watch the video, look at the evidence, and make a decision. Make a decision about reality, because reality matters. If this person will drag Cletus into the courtroom and say that he is a physically dangerous person, what would this person do to others? All right. Man, you have got to apologize. You got a lot of fixing to do. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope that you have a really, really great, happy day. Because some of us have to work real jobs until 9:00 tonight. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, do all the YouTube stuff. See you later.
Watching the sunset fade away with pink and bluey. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life, we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain. Diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we see. Love forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light, for the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compared to the peace we found in the ties we ride.